going to be talking about the WAFCON on this show as well. So just stay tuned for that one. Aside from that, still talking about the World Cup. All three, they considered just one goal throughout the tournament, with Unai Simon keeping 7 clean sheets, which is a World Cup record. Yes, the World Cup is over now, but what do you have to say about what Spain did at the World Cup 2026? Ladies and gentlemen of culture, we are back on the Culture 11 podcast. It's been a pleasure being with you, on the episodes we've had so far. And today, it's time for us to get into everything football on the show. Again, my name is Josh, the Black Boy Coffee, and I am never alone in the studio. Smurfy is always right here with me. Covenant is always right here with me. And the last time we had a discussion on this podcast, we were looking forward to the semi-final and the final of the FIFA World Cup 2026. But as we speak to you right now, you already know, Spain are the current champions of the world. They won the FIFA World Cup 2026, and it was a beautiful, beautiful one. It was the second time that they won it in their history. The year 2010 being the first time, and they had their legends pull up to the stadium to support them. We saw the likes of Sergio Ramos, Carlos Puyol, what was it you see again? Andres Iniesta, Xavi, and a couple of other people. Xavi Hernandez was there as well. There's another...
Donald Trump.
You said?
Donald Trump
was there. Donald Trump did there.
Casillas was there.
Casillas was there as well too. I was surprised to see Casillas, but it was there. And they become the first country to simultaneously hold the men's and women's World Cup. This is something that is wonderful. Well, dare I say that this is something that Morocco is also trying to do in Africa as well, hold the men and women's AFCON. But sadly, the women will still have to pass through the Super Falcons. And we're going to be talking about the WAFCON on this show as well. So just stay tuned for that one. Aside from that, still talking about the World Cup. All three, they considered just one goal throughout the tournament, with Unai Simon keeping 7 clean sheets, which is a World Cup record. Yes, the World Cup is over now, but what do you have to say about what Spain did at the World Cup 2026? Let's start with Smurfy.
Yeah, and you forgot to add Messi wept. So, Jesus Christ is not the only person to have wept in the Bible. Messi wept in 2026 after playing a 120 minutes without registering a shot on target.
That's what book of the Bible chapter wept. Messi wept.
World Cup 2026 versus Trump. Messi wept.
Well,
good day to our viewers out there on Culture 11. I mean, it's wonderful to be on this podcast to talk sport, to shade Messi and whoever.
You just said you shade Messi. Is that what you
talk sport and shade Messi?
Talk sport and shade Messi.
Yes.
Okay. What do you have to say about Spain winning the World Cup? Because when I asked you that, but you guys had Messi for inside this thing.
Of course, Argentina were dominated. They were taught how to play football. They were walked through. They were outplayed. They were outclassed. They were terrible. They were washed. They were rinsed. I mean, I'm looking for any adjective or synonym.
No, we get it.
Of being terrible.
We get it.
And that is the most terrible one-sided World Cup final in history. So since 1930, that World Cup has been in existence. There has never been a side that has been as terrible as Argentina. So when we say that getting into the final... In the final. So when we say getting into the final... But getting in the final doesn't make... Yoruba will say, and we saw that in the finals. And I've always said it, maybe up until England, Argentina were pushed, were babied, were carried by Infantino and the rest to that position. And it was evident in the final. The best team, I wouldn't say the best, one team played the final and one team won eventually. It would have been unfair if the game had gotten to penalties and Argentina or FIFA boys had won the World Cup. I'm sure that a lot of football fans out there would have been so pained if Argentina would won it. But we saw the difference. Rodri dominated the final. Pedri came on and sealed it. And Ferran Torres, the Fernando Torres region, came on and won the cup with a wonderful goal in 160 minutes.
Fernando Torres region. Yeah. Well, talking about pain, some set of people before the final was played, they were like, whoever wins is a win for them. Because
that's a fans.
I said some set of people. I don't know now. Some set of people. But it can't be like say after the final can't finish. Now they can't feel the pain pass. Because it can't be like say the part of them where they won't make a win, I know can't win. But May we hear from Covenant. Do you fall into that category, and how you see the Spain, win at the World Cup?
Well, I think the only person that deserves to win won the World Cup. And this is not the first time that Spain is going to win a tournament by conceding just one goal. I remember 2012 Euro, when the Africa Casillas, they played 6 games, they won almost all, if not all, and they conceded 1 goal in that tournament. So I think it just shows, like, people are saying, the Spain of before is now coming back. So if it is that, well,
it's an aberration. They need to be slapped, but they won the
well,
World Cup.
we'll look forward to it. There is an Euro for them coming up in 2 years. We'll see whether they can still, replicate. They are the current Euro holder, because that was what the Spain of the whole did. They won Euro, won World Cup, and won another Euro. They did it in 12 years. So this current Spain has won the Euro.
They've won the Euro. They've won the World Cup.
Now let's see whether they can win.
But
Euro
some people have the opinion that playing wise. When I say playing wise, I mean watching a team play. They believe that this current Spain team might play better football than the.
You say what?
Oh no, I said some people believe. Do you believe?
Okay, maybe the people that started watching football in 2014.
In 2014.
Yeah, some people who they cannot see beyond who they like. They can't watch beyond this is my favorite player. So they might
I feel like based on this current team's performance, none of them would get into the first 11 of the previous Spain. Rodri could stake a claim, but I'll tell you that when you have likes of Xavi Alonso or Busquets in that team, there's no need for somebody to go and get the ball from the back and start running around covering pitch, because the job was easy. World class Xabi Alonso, world class Busquets, world class Xavi, and world class Iniesta. It was just easy, and everybody knew that job. You didn't.
You seem to forget even the likes of Fabregas.
I want to talk about those who were starting. That team had David Silva. I'm not sure anybody can touch. I'm not sure Pedri can touch his right leg, despite the fact that he's a left-footed player, and he could not get into the starting lineup at the biggest games of all. Fabregas is one of the best midfielders of all time. I mean, my opinion, and he showed workings. You can ask Arsenal, and so they go for Costa. So and they had Santi Cazorla too in the fray. So you look at this current Spain, and you tell me one player that you think that would have walked in. So when I said Rodri could have staked a claim, but those ones knew their job and they were better at it. Long balls, give it to Xabi Alonso. Short passes, give it to Xavi. Dribbling, give it to Iniesta. Breaking play, press resistance. Nobody does it better than Busquets. So what else?
You see, when we say football is a game of opinions, it doesn't mean that your opinion makes sense, but we acknowledge it. I just needed to ask that question, because sometimes you see some stuff on social media and you're like, did this person consume breast milk as a child, or maybe they just had some evaporated milk or something, because it didn't feel like they grew the way we grew up. Because you see a lot of football takes and you're wondering, what exactly is this person saying? But like we always say, football is a game of opinions. You need to accept it, and whether the opinion makes sense or not, acknowledge it. If you're going to accept it, fine. If you're not going to accept it, fine. But we're not going to dwell on that. Let's, because we're just trying to do a little roundup for the World Cup. After, the final, another thing that raised a lot of conversation was the individual awards as well. Paul Kubasi won, the best young player. Simon won the Golden Glove, obviously. Rodri won the Golden Ball, at the FIFA World Cup as well. Now, that has been the conversation for a lot of people. He won the Golden Ball for controlling Spain's midfield and was central, to a team that conceded just 1 goal in the FIFA World Cup. It has never been done before in the history of the World Cup. Yes, they did it before, at the Euros for the previous team, but at the World Cup, which seems to be like the most prestigious. They did not
concede a shot on target in the finals. They did not.
Well, maybe you forgot. Argentina is now the first nation in World Cup history to play 3 World Cup finals and did not register a shot on target. On 1990, 2014 against Germany, and then this
particular one.
So it's a normal thing.
They didn't register a shot.
So that's a record as well.
And Messi was in 2 of those.
That's a record as well,
In fact, he won the Golden Ball in 2014.
Now, Culture 11 podcast, not be we hate Messi podcast. So, still talking about that, Rodri won the Golden Ball for, how instrumental he was, for Spain at the World Cup. It was very instrumental in the way they played. But Lionel Messi finished with 8 goals and 4 assists leading many fans to argue that he had the bigger individual tournament. And they believe that he should have won the Golden Ball for his performances. Argentina had, a lot of shocks and upsets during the World Cup. There were points when a lot of people felt, oh, they're finally out of the tournament. And then in the space of 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes, everything changes. And it kind of feels like Leo Messi is the man in the middle of all of that. So a lot of people believe that his claims for, not like he's the one claiming it, but their claims that, Messi should have won the Golden Ball, they believe is legit. So I want to know what you think about it. Do you think Rodri is the rightful winner of the Golden Ball for how he was instrumental for Spain, or you think Leo Messi should have won it as well?
One thing that we failed in football to realize in football is that every time a tournament happens, every time a team wins, every time a team becomes successful, we forget that team is not an individual game. Oh, this is not kabaddi played in India. This is not Ludo. This is not an indoor game where you have one person dominating the whole thing or playing. This is a team sport. Don't forget that in 2006, Cannavaro won the Ballon d'Or for his display with Juventus and for his impetuous display with Italy at the World Cup. If people don't know, Cannavaro is one of the defenders to play in a World Cup final, to play in a World Cup, win the World Cup, win almost all the games, win the World Cup without getting a yellow card. Gary Lineker is one of the players who have never received a yellow card or a red card in his career. But Cannavaro is one defense, as tough as he is. He's very tough. Cannavaro is tougher than the likes of the Butcher, who gets injured every now and then and goes to the hospital.
I don't want to collect for your hand.
So Cannavaro is very tough, and sometimes he makes reckless tackle. But one way or the other, he didn't receive a yellow card in the tournament and still won. He played against Henry, played against Ronaldo, plays against Fernando Torres, played against David, played against the best of the best, and still came out on top and did not receive a yellow card in that tournament. So he was able to win the Ballon d'Or that year. I can't remember if he won the Golden Ball, but he won the Ballon d'Or. And I would agree, people would agree with me that Ballon d'Or back then was bigger than whatever Golden Ball was. So sometimes it's not just about you scoring goals. You look at the Spain side, why did they concede one goal? How many shots? They faced 15 shots on target. If I'm not mistaken, numbers can be more, but the last time I remember it was 15 shots on target. In a tournament where you played over 6-7 games. Give kudos to the midfield. 8 games. And the midfield shielded the backline. Paul Kubasi was able to win the young player of the tournament because of how far Spain went and because they did not concede more than one goal. But give kudos to the midfield. I would always say, for every solid...
Wait, are you trying to say that... just correct me, I'm not insinuating anything. Are you trying to say that the only reason Paul Kubasi won was because the midfield shielded the defense, or we are agreeing that Paul Kubasi also had a wonderful tournament?
He had a wonderful, not taking anything away from Paul Kubasi. Okay. But if Spain had conceded 5, Kubasi would not be in the fray. Maybe Desiree Doué would have been ahead of him. I don't know if Desiree Doué falls in that number because he had some fantastic moments and France got to the semi-finals. Maybe they were fourth. But I'm just saying, for every solid defense, you check the midfield. When Liverpool considered 22 goals in the Premier League, look at Fabio was on top of his game. Wijnaldum was there, Henderson was there. Look at Chelsea when they considered 15 goals. Makelele, for you to realize how good a midfielder is, or a defensive midfielder, the CDM is Claude de Makelele. So that is to tell you how good the midfield has to be for the defense to be at its best. If you concede so many frequent attacks, you would be vulnerable and you would concede goals. That was how good Rodri was. And look at it. Most balls into the final third, most passes completed in the midfield, most carries. Go and ask around, check the stats. If you see any player that is better than Rodri in the midfield, let me see.
Well, let's come to Governor. Let's get your opinion quickly, because I'm trying to understand the reason a lot of people believe Lionel Messi should have won ahead of Rodri. Is it how instrumental he was to the team, or the number of goals and assists that he had? Because if we're talking about that, I think Kylian Mbappe had more. He had about 10 goals and I think 4 assists as well. So if it's about the numbers, Kylian Mbappe had a lot of that. And Kylian was also instrumental to France, because I don't care what anybody has to say, scoring 10 goals is not a fluke. Yes, Michael Olise was beautiful. He was also very instrumental as well. But scoring 10 goals and assisting 4 goals
That's 14 goals
in
contribution.
8 games is not something that you joke with as well. So if the likes of Kylian cannot get into this conversation, then why do we think that with 8 goals and 4 assists, Lionel Messi should win ahead of Rodri?
And working most of the game, but move on.
Well, I think if you look
But
at
you don't expect him to run too much at this point.
if you look at the trajectory of the Golden Ball winners of World Cup, most times it is always from the team that won and win the World Cup. Like that is who gets the. I didn't say all the time, but most times. Now, if you look at 2006, that it was fighting the other time. See that Ballon d'Or case, it could have been Zinedine Zidane, but because of the incident that happened, that was why he didn't win the Ballon d'Or. It was because one of the criteria for winning Ballon d'Or, it has to do with behavioral, attitude.
I understand what you are saying, and you are not wrong. But that's one thing that I've never really understood. Because if it's about behavior on the pitch, a lot of people don't win this Ballon d'Or.
That was why Vinicius
about behavior on the
Junior. One
pitch.
of the reasons why Vinicius Junior did not win the last one that Rodri got, according to
because of behavior on the pitch.
No, they said it like it's part of their
Yeah,
criteria.
behavior
They
was
have
one
to-
of the
they
things
have
that
to consider. It's part of
they
the criteria that they must feel. Oh, this person, his attitude on and off the pitch is like we can call this person an ambassador of this award. So now, the 2022 World Cup, it was Messi that got the Golden Ball. So their belief is that even if they are going to win this World Cup or not, because of the recognition Messi already had, that automatically he should get it. If it's by performance, I think the best player of the tournament got it in Rodri. And if it's not going to be Rodri, there are many other people I will list out that have, I can say they have a better argument than Messi.
Like who?
Kylian Mbappe scored 10 goals, like you said, and 4 assists. You can't take that away and give somebody that scored 8 goals and 4 assists. They are both instrumental to their team. And another person is Michael Olise. He broke the assist record, the most assists in a single World Cup tournament, formerly held by the great Pele. He broke it. He had 7. Yeah, so if you look at this kind of stats and how important they are to the team, anytime Olise plays well, France plays well. That's how it works. So you can't say, okay, I should sideline that person and take Messi. So I think what they are trying to do is because of the popularity and the acceptance that Messi already had. So they believe that anytime he's in contention to win an award, automatically he should win it. Whether they are not looking at the merit side of it, they are looking at he's
he has
popular,
always won it.
just give it to him. So I think that's the situation on the ground. They are not looking at the performance.
Well, a lot of people seem to believe that Lionel Messi should have been the winner of the Golden Ball at the World Cup 2026. And if you're very, very conversant with social media, you see a lot of arguments here and there. A lot of people talking about different things. But, let us know what you think in the comments, definitely. But still talking about the World Cup, before we wrap it up and move on to other conversations, should I target Argentina controversies all through the World Cup? There's been a lot of conversation about Argentina, and a lot of people seem to think it's hate because they believe, it's because they hate Messi. If not for Messi, they wouldn't be saying all of these things that they're saying. But let's put that aside. Let's look at that World Cup final. We believe that whatever happens in 90 minutes or after 120 minutes stays on the pitch after 120 minutes.
Sure.
But it was the first time in a long time, and me saying in a long time because none actually even comes to mind, where after the final whistle has been blown for the World Cup and a winner has been crowned, or even before the winner was given the trophy, where you see players going at each other, right there on the pitch. And I think one name that we can find in the middle of all of this would be Paredes.
And Molina too.
And Molina as well. Molina also, I think Molina started it.
Yes.
And then Paredes decided to go overboard. And Paredes has also been one player who has been very, very nasty on the pitch, even during games that they played during the World Cup as well. And the conversation is that FIFA has opened an investigation into the incident. And do we think we'll hear anything from this incident? I'm not sure if we will, but hopefully if we do, we will see what they will come up with at the end of everything. But aside from the character of these players on the pitch after Spain was crowned champions, while they were being crowned champions, they turned their backs on the champions while they were lifting their trophy, which is something that we've also not seen, in a World Cup final. Now, a lot of people seem to believe that at that point, they were emotional. They were trying to communicate with their fans because, they were facing their fans and backing the champions. Oh, it was not an intentional stuff. They were just trying to, like, appreciate the fans that rode with them for the 8 games, that left different parts of the world to come to the US to watch them play football. And some believe that it is outright disrespect, not just for the champions, but for the competition, because it felt like if we don't win it, we don't care about it. And then there was a lot of, conversation on, who said this, who did what. A lot of rumors have been flying as well that I cannot talk about because some of them are not even confirmed. But what do you think about, let's isolate that incident. What do you think about it? Do you think it was intentional or they were just trying to communicate with their fans like a lot of people believe?
Well, there's this saying that winners take the points and losers explain. Whether or not they like it, whether or not they're happy, Spain is its champion. There's nothing they can do about it. You can back them all you want. Even after the fight, the referee does still not decide that, oh, you know what, okay, you fought for your rights, or yeah, come and take the World Cup. They lost already. So anything they do after does not matter.
But they can go to court and win it like Morocco.
Well, there is no winning there. There is nothing that could happen. A team that could not even play a shot in 90 minutes. Like, not even, let's leave on target alone. Like, play a shot in 90 minutes. Simon has to walk around after the game to greet.
More than 90 minutes. I think about 100. And I think their first shot came in the 100 and...
Yeah, that was after at extra time.
Second half extra time.
Simon have to go around after the game to greet all the Argentina players that, oh, in case you did not notice, I was here too. Like, I was on the pitch. No, it was that. It was that worse. There was a video. All of them, including their bench, he went to greet them that, oh, I'm Simon.
Oh, that's what he said.
Can I meet you?
That's what he said.
He
went around to greet them because they just played a game of football. What does that have to do
he
with
was introducing
in case you
himself
did not see me on the field?
No, they did not. He know that they did not see him. Oh, I was on the pitch, so I was 11th man.
Did you see Simon in the game?
I did now.
I'm not sure he played that game.
I did now.
So, so there is nothing else you want to do that you can use to, say you can fight all you want, you can do any antics all you want. The World Cup winner, the deserved winner. It's not like, oh, maybe they helped them. The deserved winner, they got the trophy already. So all those ones, to me, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Do you think it was intentional or not intentional?
Really, whether it was intentional or not, it's really something that is more like crying when the head is off. It really doesn't count. And me, I don't pay attention to things that does not matter. So what matters is that Spain won it and won it fairly, and then disciplined Argentina. So I'm not going to say that if it was my club and something like that was done, I probably would still say, well done guys, because you didn't want to say the winner. And so I'm not going to be biased in this one. I really don't see, I don't see that's a big deal. The only thing I have issues with is Paradise. And I would say something. Because the referees have given them that freedom to do anyhow. So if you're giving that freedom to misbehave here, you will misbehave more than the level that you're supposed to misbehave, because you feel like nobody's going to talk to me. So when we talk about gentle parenting, sorry that I'm trying to digress. When we talk about gentle parenting, your child is stealing meat from the pot. You are doing like this. Sorry, he would go around. He would have the guts to get gone and start robbing banks.
So who is the parent of Paredes now?
FIFA, and are you not seeing it? It's the referee and Infantino. So because they've been allowed to misbehave, we saw the game, we saw the tournament, except we're trying to just play cool and say, okay, it's not about Messi 8. It's about what FIFA is currently doing with Argentina. Now they've had more enemies. And I'm sure that Messi's legacy, if we're not lying, has been dented a bit. If you're pampering somebody, pamper them with sense. Don't pamper as if, So when I talk about gentle parenting, when you spoil a child, he will go around and embarrass you. That is what Paradise has done to Argentina AFA and done to FIFA. But nothing is going to happen because it's Argentina. I bet you, if he was an European player that done that stupid thing that Paradise turned into a boxer, modern day Mayweather, and started boxing Gavi. Make it try with Nigeria. Look, we see waiting go happen.
You heard what Sergio Ramos said. He said he wished he was the one he tried that with. That he would not even attempt.
He would not have tried it with Sergio Ramos. Now, when you and I know,
I think Spain, like we don't have those caliber of players that. Imagine doing that with Gattuso.
Well, you shouldn't even do that at any point in time in a game of football, because yes, the game of football can be very physical, but it's not a violent game. Yes, a lot of emotions run wild. Sometimes you feel cheated. sometimes you feel like things
not
should have
cheating.
gone your way. No, I'm talking about, just in general now. But it should never descend to the point where you raise your hand on another football player. And this is the concern that we have when we talk about a beautiful game of football. Because you see, when we're talking about football, football is something that is adored by millions of people worldwide. And you cannot gaslight millions of people at the same time. You can't. Because the truth is, we know how the game is supposed to be played. And when that game is not being played that way, you cannot sell hate to us because we are not stupid. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Spain are the current world champions. And until the next World Cup, which would be in 2030, definitely Spain will remain the world champions. If you can do anything, go and fight in your Continental Cup. Either Euros
Copa
or
America,
Copa America
AFCON,
or your AFCON.
Asian Cup.
Go and fight there. Well, that's pretty much it for the World Cup. Until 2030, God willing, we get to talk about, World Cup matches and the competition itself. But aside from the World Cup, we are moving to another competition that will be starting in a few days. On the 26th of July, the WAFCON will kickstart. Should we even call it WAFCON, or we should just call it Super Falcons WAFCON at this point? Because, if you've played the competition 13 times and just one country has won it 10 times, why are you playing it anymore? Nigeria has won it 10 times, Equatorial Guinea has won it twice, and South Africa have won it just once. So what did Ghana do for the competition?
Yeah, they share jollof rice. Like the jollof rice.
Charlie? But Nigeria, we are the defending champions, and like I said, we're record winners. 10 WAFCON titles so far. And, it was a beautiful one, the last one that was won against Morocco. They came 2 goals down to definitely win. We saw the likes of Okoronkwo, score a goal. Who else scored a goal in that game?
Okoroko scored an assist the last goal.
Okay.
I think Demeyi scored in the game. Yeah.
So it was a beautiful one for Nigeria and Nigerians in total, even the ones in diaspora as well. Seeing our women come together, to win this. This is something that our Nigerian boys have not done in a while. So when the women are raising their shoulders on social media, like Gladys is doing right here in the studio, just ask them to name 5 players in the WAFCON. But that's what we're doing right here. But just we're continuing. Nigeria has never lost a final at the WAFCON, and Morocco has hosted the tournament twice, 2022 and also rescheduled in 2024. They got to the final on both occasions, but lost to South Africa and lost to Nigeria. And beyond winning the title, there's a reason I'm mentioning Morocco is because, number one, they are hosting, and they also seem to be like one of the people that can cause a problem for a couple of countries at the tournament.
Our African Argentina.
They are I know that one.
Okay. That's what's kind of finish you.
I just know where the teeth. They do pass that. I just know where the teeth.
Well, then they sue referee to court,
at all. So let me. Well, aside from Morocco, Zambia is another team that their name has been coming up that they can be, form of a hindrance to the Super Falcons when it comes to winning the WAFCON. But beyond winning the title for this year, there's another thing that's at stake. That's qualification for 2027 World Cup in Brazil. But let's start with the very obvious question. We've done it 10 times. Can we make it 11?
If you are going to talk about reality, if you look at our last performance and preparation, because see, I have to say this, I think NFF, they've not helped Super Falcon at all. We have a lot of friendly games that were cancelled. We were supposed to play Ghana 2 or 3 days ago. The game was cancelled 15 hours to the game. Not even a day before, 15 hours to it. Now, as at this morning, we have 23 out of our 25 players in camp. Yeah, and it took a lot of work. The other 2 players, I think, is Gift Monday and Demeyi that is not yet there. There is a storm. The weather was not okay for them to travel from the United States to Morocco and everything. So, and the way NFF treats Super Falcon as if they are nothing. And this is a team that has won 10 out of 13 edition. They have more like WAFCON than the person that has won the most AFCON, which is Egypt, right? Egypt has 7 AFCON, if I'm not mistaken. Super Falcons have 10 on their own, and yet they do not treat them as if they matter. The only thing they can do is to award the players OON at the end of the tournament after they've made us proud. Even after they made us proud, give them of this award. Give them, like, we have the ability to schedule friendlies against United States, big teams that can help our preparation. But it was late end that we have to be settling for playing, against Ghana, against Senegal, against Cameroon, just to prepare for WAFCON. And now there is something at stake. You must enter semi-final to be able to qualify automatically for next year World Cup in Brazil. So the preparation for this WAFCON has not been okay. So I'm worried as to how our performance is going to be. And some of our key players, yes, they are available, but they are not fit. Now, Plumter is not going to play because she's injured. Okoronkwo is just coming back from an injury. I'm praying to God, because anything we are going to do in this WAFCON will be at her best. If she's not performing well, like if she's not at her best, it's going to tell on us. Yeah, there are other players that can do well. Gift Monday is back.
Payne.
We have Payne, we have Imran, we have Rashida Tajibade, the captain. We have many fantastic players. But there's just some players in a team that that when it matters, they can deliver for them. So that is a player of Esther Okoronkwo's caliber. So I'm hoping she's going to be fit. And talking about Zambia, when you look at their attack, I think the only person that, if you are unable to tame her, which you can't just say you will tame her, is Banda. She is the current top scorer in NWSL in the United States, 12 goals. The person following her is playing for Malawi, Chawinga. So if you look at those two players, they have the ability to perform at the top level. If you give Banda 3 chances, there is a probability she's going to score 2 of them. She's that good. And if you look at her, there are many times that she has been investigated. Are you sure this is a woman and not a man? She has been investigated multiple times that nobody wants to believe that. No, the way she plays as if she's a man. So those kind of things you just have to look at. So I think Super Falcons, this WAFCON is going to be more difficult to win. And because of the host nation, they are hosting it for the 3rd time. They want to win it by all means. They want to see if the last referee of the WAFCON final, despite everybody saying that she did a good job, they still had to court that she was against them. And I watched the game, there was no evidence of. So I think they want to win by all means. But the god of football always has a way of saying, there's nothing you can do about it.
But you see, it's a concern for a lot of people, yeah? I think one of you said they are the Argentina of Africa. Was it you?
Yeah, myself.
Well, I don't know about that.
I'm not scared.
But there seems to be a lot of things to be concerned about when it comes to Morocco, hosting the WAFCON. Aside from them hosting as well, because we saw the way they hosted the AFCON. We saw how it went, and now hosting the WAFCON, I feel like it might be the same thing, if not exactly the same thing. Like it happened with the AFCON. Can we get fairness? It just feels like Argentina hosting the World Cup. If they don't win, maybe they'll shoot all of them. Allegedly. So, can we expect fairness from, this competition being hosted in Morocco? Then aside from that, like you said, the football is also something that in some cases, it can't be tampered with, because if you try cheat your way from day one, if you be seeing a fine and I ain't gonna go punish you. You understand that kind of thing? So, do we even have the squad that can guarantee us our 11th win, at the WAFCON in Morocco? Looking at the squad right now, we have Chiamaka Nadozie, Comfort Fatima Osinachi, Demei Alozie, Rafiat Shukurat, Ogbonna Glory, Abiodun Deborah, and the midfielder. Sikirato is also, going. Christie is going. Alimatu Anyide is going. Ajibade Rashidat is going. Jennifer Echejini is going. Payne Antoinette is also going. Jamilusi Folashade, Koronkwo Esther, who we are hoping will be fit enough to play, games. Omewa Joy is also going. Oshoala Sisat is also going. He is Chiwindo, I'm sorry if I pronounce the name wrongly, is also going. Babajide Omori Sola is also going. Francisca Odega is a name that is raising a lot of concerns for a couple of people, but she's going. Monday Gift is also going, and then we have Kanu Uchenna. Now, talking about Francisca Odega, I think she's about 32 now.
32 years.
She's about 32 years old now. And it's not really about the age for those who are concerned. It's because they believe that, there's another player who is younger and who has shown in this past, season that she can offer something more than Francisca can offer at the WAFCON. Francisca has played 15 games and she has played about 771 minutes, scoring just 1 goal and 3 assists. And then we have Flourish Sebastian that plays for Fenerbahce. She's just 21 years old. She's played just 8 games. She has scored 11 goals and she has 0 assists. Now, that is the name that a lot of people believe should be replacing the likes of Francisca Odega at this WAFCON. But do we think that when it comes to selection, it should be based off experience? Because Odega is experienced. It's not her first WAFCON. Yeah, she's also a serial, not a second or a third, right? She's a serial winner when it comes to the WAFCON. She knows what the competition needs and she knows exactly what she needs to deliver. Flourish Sebastian is a very young, talent, a prospect, and she's somebody that we also believe can wear, the jersey of the Nigerian Super Falcons for many years to come. But when it comes to selecting for a competition as prestigious as the WAFCON, do we think the coach sticking with experience with Francisca Odega is the right decision, or he should have gone for the most lethal option in Sebastian Flourish?
And sometimes when we look at the squad, and I've always said this thing, you see, playing for the biggest tournaments sometimes might be different from playing for your club side. I'm going to give you examples. Look at Henderson for England. He only played 1 game. He got injured when he was trying to jubilate. And after the game, after the final, after they defeated France, I saw Morgan Rogers and Bellingham going into his arms. So sometimes it's not just about the game itself. It's about what you give to the team in terms of support, in terms of oneness, in terms of how much you know the squad and how far you've been with the squad. Now, I think we should not be talking about Odega as a direct substitution for this beautiful lady who is doing well for herself. 8 goals, 8 games, 11 goals. There are other players who don't have the experience and who don't have the goals. I'm not sure Kalu is one of those people that I've watched Kalu and I've not been impressed. Maybe I will be impressed. Maybe this World Cup, this WAFCON is going to give me something different about her. But I've not really been impressed. So sometimes it's not this almost no direct replacement between 2 players. You can look at somebody within the squad. Look at Brazil, went with Neymar. When Neymar came on against Norway, you could see that maybe his body is failing him already, but the touch is there. Modric is starting for Croatia. Not like he had maybe the highest of assists. And I'm not saying that maybe Croatia dropped some of their best players. Don't look at Odega as a direct substitution for this player. You can drop one of those people that you think don't have enough numbers. But experience is one thing that you can never do away with when you talk about the biggest game in Africa. And I've seen Odega in the biggest games. Of course, she's played the World Cup twice, yeah? She's played the World Cup twice. She's been with this female team for a long time. So she's a serial winner. You cannot play with winners. People who have the mentality to say that this is a game we've won. We've won it before. I've seen WAFCON terrible in a tournament. Not this one. I think 2019 thereabout. There was a tournament, they were not so fantastic. They were getting results, but the gameplay, maybe because I was expecting more, because I'm familiar with the men's game and I know how I love my team to play. I wasn't getting it, and they still won. So you cannot. Why is Oshuala going with Super Falcons? I've seen Oshuala in the last 2-3 tournaments with Super Falcons. Not impressed, but she's still there. So if you're going to say let's do away with experience, look at other players who are not giving you quality numbers. You can drop them for. And she's just 21. She still has years ahead of her. But I'm always of the opinion that go with your best players, but yet go with experience. We saw that with England. If England had gone with Maguire, maybe they would have gotten into the finals, because those two crossing into the box by Messi, or maybe the crossing into the box by Messi would not have gone in if a tall defender who is good at winning ball. Gayish is not so good when it comes to ball winning in the box. Also, the experience is there. Play the biggest game, and I think Odega deserves to be there. And another issue I have is with Morocco hosting 3 WAFCONs back to back. Football is, we're not in the 1960s, we're not in the 1930s, where you think that a country deserves to host competition back to back. The female football has evolved. Yes, it's not as big as you want it to be. But football has evolved. Ivory Coast could have, of course, if there were adequate plans in place. I don't know what happened with Ivory Coast, but South Africa too is another league. They have good pitch everywhere. I mean, maybe I don't know a lot about all this, but I feel like it's not just Morocco that should be hosting, because when it's now becoming a monopoly of football in Africa. They are hosting they hosted the AFCON, they are hosting WAFCON, hosted under 20. If it continues in this vein, these people would be entitled to demand for trophies, and you will not blame them when the referee start supporting them, because that is where football is currently.
Well, I'm talking about why they are hosting back to back. I think is largely because a lot of countries didn't bid to host.
I think
the WAFCON,
most African countries, they have to do better. They have to do better. And another thing is, you see, the attention CAF gives to women's football. It's annoying. It's just like NFF. I am a Nigerian. I sat down in Nigeria and I watched the whole of Asian Cup that happened in Australia. I have access to it. Now, WAFCON is just a few days away. We have not known how we Africans we are going to watch the game live.
There's no noise safe. There's no noise.
Like the way they take it. So it seems like in Africa, it's only Morocco that seems to take anything football seriously, whether it's men or women. So I'm not going to blame them for hosting it. It's not their fault. If others are ready, you can bid, that you want to host it. But nobody is bidding. Only them is coming out every time. So I think they should go ahead and host it.
It's quite understandable. But
so when they start demanding for the titles, it's understandable too.
That's the issue now. You see, it shouldn't really matter where the what's it called, the tournament is being hosted. And I think Covenant has a point when it comes to men and women's football, because you see, there seems to be a very big difference when it comes to men's football competitions and women's football competitions. I'm not trying to, create a narrative for anybody, but kind of feels like not just on the part of the organizers, even the fans themselves.
Exactly.
How many people out there knows the WAFCON will be starting in the next few days? A lot of people do not know. And for those that even know, how many people really care enough to watch it? A lot of people, the last WAFCON, they'll just watch the final because Nigeria got to the final. If Nigeria didn't get to the final, a lot of them didn't care. So when it comes to, the attention that people give to female football is something that a lot of people need to pay more attention to. But before we wrap it up, let's just get it quickly. Who do you think will win the WAFCON, and where do you think Nigeria will finish?
Is there another team at the WAFCON?
There are plenty where you go.
Of course, Super Falcons. So you think if Super Eagles had gone to the World Cup, I would have supported them in their team? You are going to support
you would have supported country. Super Eagles to win World Cup.
Not win World Cup. But yes, Super Falcons.
Give me your answer. Are they winning or not?
If you've done it 10 times, you can do it 11 times.
All right. Covenant, who do you think will be winning the WAFCON for this year?
Well, the first favorite is the Super Falcon. It's there. They can't take it away. Then you have to look like team of South Africa. They are good. You have to look at South Africa. Look at Morocco again. Look at Ghana. Ghana was fourth in the last edition. They lost to South Africa in the third place. So you look at, and I'm another two nations I'm looking at for is Zambia and Malawi. Not for anything, but because of Banda and Chawinga. Both of them, they are able to carry their team on their head and say, you know what, let's make it happen. So Nigeria the favorite, and I'm going to for Zambia as the dark horse.
So where do you think Zambia will finish?
Well, I'm seeing them in the semi-final.
In the semi-finals. Yeah. Who do you think would be like the dark horse for the tournament? You said Zambia would be. Who do you think would be your dark horse?
I think dark horse, because I cannot say South Africa will be a dark horse, one of the best. They have Gatlana, the fastest striker in women's football in Africa. So I feel like I would go with Nigeria, Morocco, South Africa, and maybe Ghana, maybe Zambia too for me.
So you're not talking Nigeria go win now. So who will be your dad? Who will be the,
maybe Zambia. Maybe Zambia. I said maybe Zambia for me because of Banda.
All right. Well, the WAFCON will be starting in 3 days, ladies and gentlemen. Ensure that you go out to support the Super Falcons, the Nigerians in Morocco. And aside from the Nigerians in Morocco, even Nigerians in other parts of the world as well, the same type of attention you give to the AFCON for the men, please try to give to the women. They are doing very, very well. They've won the WAFCON 10 times, and that's been hosted 13 times. Our men have not won. Have they won it 5 times?
3.
Just 3 times. So we're not trying to say that the men are inferior. right? We're just trying to say support the women the way you support the men. It is very, very important. But we're bringing it to a wrap on the Culture 11 podcast for today. But before we go, let us discuss, some of the transfers that we have seen in recent times. Because the season will be starting pretty soon. The Premier League, the La Liga, the Serie A. Also, we're talking about the Eredivisie, the Bundesliga, and the host of other leagues will be starting pretty soon. And this is the time for clubs to try their best to get the perfect squad that will lead them and their fans into the new season and, of course, challenge for trophies. A lot of names have gone around when it comes to the transfer window this year. John Duran, that one is the tourist of the tourist footballer. He has gone from continent to continent, and now he's in Portugal playing for Benfica on loan from Al Nassr. Also, Morgan Rogers has signed a 6-year deal with Chelsea for 117 million pounds guaranteed. Covenant.
Why are you raising your voice?
I am trying to reach
117.
117 million pounds.
Finally, Vet can rest.
Well, what do you think about that transfer, though? Morgan Rogers was one of the best young talents we had in the Premier League last season for Aston Villa. And now he has made his way to Stamford Bridge, signing a 117 million pound contract for 6 years.
Okay.
What do you think about that deal? Do you think it's worth 117 million pounds? And do you think it fits into what Chelsea wants for next season?
Well, honestly, if you are going to get my honest opinion, I don't think
Where's your voice low?
I don't think in any word Morgan Rogers is worth 117 million pounds. I was angry at the price. Is he a good player? Yes. Do I want him in my team? Yes. But for that amount, the answer is no. But the thing is, it's what the market says, because everybody is now using like other person as benchmark. We have a team saying if somebody can buy Elliot Sanderson at 116, then their home player should worth more. PSG use that as a benchmark for Bakula now. That if you want to buy Bakula, you must be ready to at least meet what Man City paid for Elliot Sanderson. So I think it's what the market has become, and I'm happy. Like, he wants to move from Aston Villa should be in Birmingham. Yeah, he wants to move to London, and then look around and say, oh, is there any team in London that has won it all? And he said, oh, I'm going to join.
That's why you think
he said the biggest team in London.
I'm going to join the biggest team in London. So it doesn't matter what color of your shirt you are wearing. In as much it is not blue, you are not the biggest club in London. You can take it to anywhere.
Beautiful. I like that. Well,
don't
show anything. It's okay. It's
just a line.
It was a line.
So it's only when you buy a player that you're skeptical if he's good enough. That's when you say that. If you can pay an amount for Elliot Anderson, who I don't know where he plays, who chases the ball here and there, and does the then you should be able to.
Well, you see, there's a lot of conversation on this Morgan Rogers transfer, but you see, we don't have time to talk about it. So let's just run through the rest of it so we can wrap it up on the podcast for today. Foden has renewed his Manchester City contract
to
2030. I believe
funny how nobody bidded for him in the first place.
You go bid for him. System player.
Well, Aston Villa sold Morgan Rogers and signed Garnacho. This is something that still, shocks a lot of people.
Lord.
Somerville is on his way to Saudi Arabia to play for Al Hilal. £55 million deal agreed with West Ham. A couple of other teams wanted him, but I think he's going to get the shmoney in
Al Hilal was
Saudi
his dream
Arabia.
club from when he was a child.
When he was a child, exactly. And then Newcastle has also agreed again to sign Alhaji Bamba.
The fuck is Alhaji Bamba?
I'm sorry, that's his name. Alhaji Bamba. Oh God, Alhaji Bamba. As a new midfielder from AS Monaco. Okay. William Saliba will not undergo surgery. He has been told not to undergo surgery, but he will be out for an extended period for his injury. And I'm hearing that Arsenal might be going in for the likes of John Stones or Konsa from Aston Villa as well. And we are waiting to see what the future holds for that. But next week, Friday, we will be back. Culture 11 will be back. We talk everything football right here. It's been a pleasure talking to you, Smurf. Been a pleasure talking to you, Covenant. Until next week, Friday, ensure you maintain the culture and keep it locked. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and comment your opinions on what we've discussed so far. And we'll see you next week. Have a very wonderful one. Thank you. Bye for now.
Culture 11!